I have a microphone today. Admittedly, I don't really know a lot about Elvis from a guitar playing perspective, but I do know one of his guitars is in here. I feel like we all know a lot of personal information about Elvis, but maybe not a lot of musical information, and that's just because of his pop cultural relevance from the 50s up until today with that huge movie that came out that was decent. Anyway, my brief research on Elvis's guitar chops led me to a very specific article about Elvis's guitar playing. Apparently the guitar players who worked with Elvis weren't very fond of him and insulted his guitar playing, at least in this article. So was the king of rock and roll a real guitar player or just a pretender wielding a prop? And it's with that top shelf segue that I introduce you to this guitar. It's in a big box, hang on. This is actually a prop that was used in a few different movies, potentially more. Movies that Elvis himself acted in, and he took this prop home with him, played it in Graceland, his home in LA. I mean, it's Elvis's guitar. It's not just a prop toy guitar, it's a Gibson J45. I don't know exactly what year, it wasn't actually included in the documentation, but this thing is old. And for being at least 60, maybe 70 years old, that is insane. And, well, why do I have it? This is from Gotta Have Rock and Roll. I've worked with this company multiple times before playing iconic, historic guitars. I played Eric Clapton's guitar, I played Jimmy Page's guitar, and now I'm playing Elvis's guitar. I mean, where does it end for me? Anyway, they have an auction going on right now, which includes this guitar, which already has a bid of like $25,000, is expected to go for like $200,000 to $500,000, I think is what it says. Pretty insane. I don't know where that's gonna end up, but there's also many other items, stage-worn clothing or signed instruments or rare photos, a lot of different memorabilia. And if you're like me who loves memorabilia, you can't help but have a nostalgia bathroom in your studio, well, then you're gonna love auctions like these. So check out Gotta Have Rock and Roll. There's a link in the description, you know, at least just to check out how much this thing ends up going for. So rather than take the angle of only exploring Elvis's particular guitar playing in depth for demonstrating this guitar, I think even Elvis himself would admit that he'd want me to stretch out and show you what this instrument's really capable of because, as he put it in his own words, "People seem to think I'm married to the guitar, but the truth is I'm not very good at it. I usually get credited with beating up a storm on it, but usually I have another and much better guitar player backing me up when I play it. For me, the guitar has always been something to do with my hands and beat time with. What I'm really studying to play is the drums." Now, to be fair, Johnny Cash has complimented Elvis's guitar playing in the past, so I don't think Elvis needs any favors from me or any compliments from me, and he is, you know, dead. So he really doesn't care, and I really don't care. I'm all about positivity, and I want to just show you what this instrument's all about while paying homage to the king in his guitar playing aspects. Well, thank you very much. And I did my own research, of course, on YouTube, and everything I saw was simple, granted, but solid as a rock. Elvis was fine, and he was much more of a performer, maybe, but that didn't stop him from wanting to take this prop home off the movie set and strum chords to his heart's content. As you can see on this guitar, the Gibson logo is blacked out. I guess that's because they couldn't get the rights from Gibson or something like that to use this guitar in the movie. I don't know if that would fly today. It's honestly a nice prop job. I mean, up close you can see, but when you zoom out, if you get back in normal distance, like when this thing would be on screen, you can't even tell that that Gibson was ever there. It was used in the movies Blue Hawaii and GI Blues. According to the letter from Charlie Hodge, he may have also used the guitar in King Creole too. Yeah, I've never seen any of those films, and I don't know if any of them are canceled or anything, like they're pretty old, but I might try and find them now that I have played this guitar. These are all Paramount movies, so the guitar is stamped inside property of Paramount Prop Department, and Elvis's name is stamped inside as well. I'm not like a huge Elvis fan, but like just the aura of it and knowing that's his thing, it's just really cool to be in the room with this. And as we know, he brought this to his house in LA and in Graceland, so I'm gonna imagine if I were Elvis or somebody like Elvis, just at the peak of stardom, trying to figure out a song to play to wow millions of people for my next hit song, just sitting in my place in Graceland, strumming this exact guitar, what would I play? Other than this one little buckle rash part that I had to pump up the exposure just to see, really no flaws with this guitar, and given that it's worth like in the 5 figures easily just on its own, I have no idea how much it could be worth with Elvis's stamp on it. Literally his stamp. So the provenance of this instrument, it's where it comes from. It was originally from the collection of Charlie Hodge, who I've mentioned his name a couple times in this video. He originally met Elvis in the 70s when they joined this band together called the Foggy Mountain River Boys. Sounds like a great band. Sorry, I'm reading this part. They met again when they served in the U.S. Army in Germany. They quickly became close friends, and Hodge lived in Graceland until Elvis passed away in '77. Charlie was Elvis's scarf handler. And also he sang like backup harmonies for him, and he handled his scarves. He gave Elvis his scarves like a fresh scarf. It's just the most hilarious job. I'm just joking, but just think, hey man, how's that job with Elvis going? You're playing with Elvis. That's incredible. Yeah, dude, I'm his scarf guy. What? You just give him scarves? Yeah, he goes through a lot of scarves, so I take care of that. Oh. Sweet dude. He also appeared in a bunch of Elvis's films as an extra. It seemed like the two were good friends along the way. This guitar is a memento to friendship and Hollywood and pop culture and the king, baby. No matter what he ever did in his personal life, he did some pretty interesting and generally good things on the stage. So I'm happy to have played this thing, and I hope whoever buys it next continues to have it in their place in Graceland or LA or some town where it can sit and provide inspiration. I don't want to beat on this instrument too much. I'd like to thank Gotta Have Rock and Roll for sponsoring this video and sending the guitar my way. I am going to send it back now very carefully. Until next time, keep shredding. Yeah, I actually don't have that whole snapping power. This is a little behind the scenes for you. I gotta go grab a guitar stand. Better not run around the house with that. Might be a $500,000 guitar. Be right back.